If someone has their home on the market and they start reducing their price and eventually it sells, does that mean that home values have dropped? Well, have you noticed that the real estate headlines lately are really focused on three things? Home values appear to be dropping, homes are sitting on the market longer than usual, and homeowners are cutting their original asking prices until the home sells. Now, while those statements may be technically true, they don't always tell the whole story, and I want to clarify some of that right now. For instance, here in San Joaquin Hills, we started the year with just one or two homes for sale. Inventory climbed really quickly to about 7 or 8 homes for sale. Today, many of those are in escrow. However, they took a little longer to sell than homeowners were accustomed to, and maybe a couple price reductions were taking place. So what exactly does that mean? Well, let's use a simple example on why many pundits and people are saying that home values really peaked in the fourth quarter of 23 and the first quarter of 24. See, here's a real case scenario that's been played out in every neighborhood. Let me take one here. In 2003, there was a beautiful home for sale. It was updated, move-in condition, and it was in a prime one-of-a-kind location. Sold for $2.2 million. And the new owner, all they did was put in their new furnishings. Now, fast forward to today, a few years later, that same owner decided to sell. They put the last 5 or 6 yearly appreciation rate. They came up with a list price of 2.5. What happened? The buyers showed up, tremendous amount of interest, positive feedback, but no offers came. And after 30, 60, 90 days, the seller reduced the price and eventually sold that same home for $2.250. See, here's the interesting part. Did the value go down? If you're comparing it to the original list price at $2.5 million, sure, you could say yes. But if you're comparing it to the $2.2 million purchase price in 2023, the home actually sold for $50,000 more. That is why real estate stats can be very misleading when they're taken out of context and who's providing it. What we're seeing here in San Joaquin Hills and much of Orange County is not necessarily a declining market. It's a market that's just finding a balance with that frenzy we experienced with home values in the previous 5 or 6 years. But here's the good news. The good news is buyers are still very active. Inventory remains very limited, and being well positioned in your home in the marketplace, they're still selling. Now, however, the challenge is that the way homes are being sold today is very different than it was just 1, 2, 3 years ago. Clarity and strategy matters more than ever. That's exactly why I created a signature guide called The Plan. You see, it's a simple framework that helps homeowners understand their purpose, tie it with some logistics, their agenda, and of course what the next steps are that are involved in today's market. Now, if you're thinking about selling or just want to understand your options, feel free to download the guide and give it a read. Well, I hope this brings some clarity to those headlines that I assure you're going to be hearing much more for the rest of the year. Till we meet, you take care.